Shalom, shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Yahweh be the true name for the Heavenly Father. Yahushai be the name for His only begotten Son, who the world eagerly calls God, Jesus Christ. I want to give double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, the top of His truth and will, and citation to hopeful expression of His truth in all honesty and sincerity. This is Brother Yahushua coming to you now. Let's the spirit power Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. This is an article. I'll go ahead and read it off for you from express.co.uk. Bubonic plague. Chinese city issues Black Death Level 3 plague warning. Bubonic plague has broken out in the Chinese city, with authorities issuing an epidemic warning after a local farmer contracted the virus that caused the infamous Black Death. The Inner Mongolian Chinese city of Bayan has been placed under a Level 3 warning for epidemic control. This is the second lowest in a 4-level system, and the hunting and eating of wild animals has been forbidden. All right, so here you go, man. We got another case of a pestilence. You're going to continue to see more news articles and reports of mass diseases, outbreaks that are going to happen until the Lord comes back. You people might as well get used to it, man. Okay. The Bible says that this is a signs of times of the ends, and this is also the Lord's wrath and judgment that He's executing before His final entrance. You know, once He finally gets back, He's going to make a grand entry to the sky, and He's going to be executing even more death and vengeance and judgment as never been seen before. Okay, but leading up to that point, every year, every couple months or so, you're going to continue to see and hear about outbreaks of mass disease, of killing people. You know, you're also going to continue to see reports of mass earthquakes, massive tornadoes, massive hurricanes, massive flooding. All those things are going to increase as labor pains, that as a woman's in labor pains, how her pains increase. That's how the increase of these plagues are going to be executed upon the face of the earth. So this is, if you're listening into the eyes of somebody that's seeking salvation, this is good news, because this means the Lord is closer to coming back and returning. This isn't something that should be feared. You know, I mean, you do have to have the fear of the Lord on you to hope that He protects you and prevents you from coming down with something like this. But this is something that the prophets look forward to, because this is what we've been warning you people about. Those guys you've seen at the corners in your cities, that, you know, so-called black man, Latino, Native American man, they're all dressed up in rough garments. They have those long, what people like to call them, capes, with the fringes at the bottom at the borders. Those are the men that's been warning you about these things to come for decades now. Decades. You know, and no other people on earth has really been giving you warning that these things are coming. But it's our duty as teachers or men of the Lord, you know, or to people that identify themselves as prophets, is to prophesy. Speak of something that's getting ready to come into existence. Speak about future events. And this is one of the many future events of judgment that we've been warning you people about, man. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab that. This is the book of Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. Okay, so there you go. The prophets of the Bible. You know, you people have been brainwashed as far as what the image and the actions of what a prophet is, according to your false Christian pastors. They teach you that these are men that have been so peaceful, that love everybody, and don't tell you that anything negative is getting ready to come. They don't tell you, your pastor does not tell you about the judgments that's getting ready to happen to the earth. They tell you that your good old sweet Jesus is going to come back, but they teach you that He's going to come back floating in the sky and just lift everybody up and have an orchestra singing with a bunch of white naked angels with wings on them. You know, that's not how it's going to go down, man. The Lord said He's coming back with vengeance. He's coming back with fire to plead with all flesh. He's coming back with a great sword. And it even gives you a description of how He's going to look when He comes back. He's going to look like a so-called black man. A very, very pissed off so-called black man. He's going to have bloodshot eyes, red with anger. He's going to have a great sword. And He's going to be slaying people. And His chariots, His angels, are going to be killing people as well. Shooting concentrated beams of fire out their chariots that have already been placing themselves in position as I speak, getting ready for Him to come back. It's going to be a horrible time. There's going to be earthquakes at the exact same time. There's going to be thermonuclear missiles flying through the sky and destroying people and destroying land, great cities being crumbled. That's that thing that we're talking about. Prophesied against countries and against great kingdoms. Well, is China not a great kingdom? Is that not a country? We've been telling you war is coming. World War III is coming. And of pestilence. So now you're seeing bubonic plague. And you know what? If this thing spreads like they off the narrative that they push coronavirus, how it spread. If this actual virus spreads, this is when you're going to actually visually be able to see something tangible of people being sick. The Black Plague ain't nothing to play around with, man. That's when you're going to see people with boils and giant black spots on their skin, rotting flesh, and falling out in the streets, coughing up oil looking like blood out their mouth. That's a real disease for your ass, man. You know? Because right now, the coronavirus stuff, a lot of that's fabricated, and they're fudging the numbers a lot. They're profiting off the people's fear on their agenda for their plans of testing on how the New World Order is going to be rolled out. And a lot of people have been falling for it, man. Okay? So let's go into it a little bit further here. We're going to read about one of the cases of the plagues within the Bible what was smitten, against ancient Egypt, because they refused to let the Lord's chosen people, the Hebrew Israelites, go, which by the way, today are the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American men. Okay, those are the true children of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. But here's the case, or the accountants of that. This is Exodus 9:15. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. Okay, pestilence was disease. When they smote Egypt with them diseases, people had giant boils on their skins, kind of like the Black Plague a little bit, and they died from that. It was like Ebola type epidemic. Okay, and then fast forward here. This is what the Lord says He's going to do with that plague again. 2nd Esdras 15:11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Well, modern day land, spiritually called Egypt, is America. They have taken on all those Egyptian customs and philosophies, the way the government was ran, and all those things, man. That's why you have a pyramid on the back of your dollar bill. That's why the Washington Monument is an Egyptian pagan obelisk, a phallic, which is another word for a penis. Okay, the Washington Monument it goes back to Egypt. Look at some of the architecture found in Alexandria, Egypt. Look in Washington, D.C. It's identical. Okay, why is there a pyramid in the middle of Las Vegas? That was surrounded by locusts about a year ago, the plague of locusts. Why is that? Because this land is spiritually called Egypt. So the Lord said He's going to bring those plagues again, as before. So they're coming back. Okay? So let's go a little bit further here. This is Jeremiah 21:6. And I will smite the inhabitants of the city, both man and beast, that shall die of a great pestilence, which is a disease, man. Okay? And some people that, that believe in coronavirus, that is actually killing people, doing the numbers, that would be considered a pestilence. We can get you the definition of a pestilence. All right, so this is from Merriam-Webster Dictionary. All right, definition of pestilence: a contagious or infectious epidemic disease that is violent and devastating, especially bubonic plague, which is, they just got that in the news, man. Now today they have antibiotics, which is something that should be able to combat this bubonic plague, because the bubonic plague is a bacterial plague or bacterial disease. So antibiotics may be something that can shut that down, but hey, the Lord can set up a whole new strand that your antibiotics can't work with. You got some strands of strep throat that can't even be killed by antibiotics. So that's not always the answer. Okay, that's not always the answer, man. So the plagues, man, they're coming back, man. This is Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. This is out of the mouth of the world Igly calls Jesus Christ. He's giving you warnings of the things to come. And he says he's talking about these things coming like when he comes back. This is things are going to take place before his return. So we're seeing all this. And what are they doing? They're increasing over time. Okay? This is second Esdras 16:37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child come forth, they slack not a moment. And this is talking about how many times this place is going to continue to be hit by these plagues in the earth, hit by plagues. The Lord is giving you a comparison, okay, of comparing, the things that's happening within the earth, of how they're increasing and returning like labor pains. That's how these events are going to continue to increase and return. So guess what? This year, the hurricane is going to be worse. The wildfires are going to be worse. The earthquakes are going to be worse. The diseases are going to be worse. They're going to continue to get worse every single year until Yahweh Hashem Yahushua returns, man. Until that sky cracks and he comes back, you're going to continue to see the events get worse. Second Esdras 16:14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. So the plagues are already been sent, man. It's like a post office letter that's being carried by the mailman. The mailman being the angels, working for the Heavenly Father. They've already been sent thousands of years ago to happen. But now we're just living in a place where we're seeing it. We're living in a time where we're getting hit by those plagues. And it's prophecy, man. Ezekiel 28:23. For I will send into her pestilence and blood into her streets, and the wounded shall be judged in the midst by her sword on every side, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So pestilence is sent, man. Disease is sent upon this place. So this is just beginning, man. This is just the beginning. You're going to see more and more of this. If it goes from bubonic plague, you're going to see Ebola virus probably hit back out. You're going to see a different strand of a coronavirus hit out. Which coronavirus, by the way, is also a common cold. That's considered a coronavirus. So you're going to have another strain from COVID-19 that's going to come out. And this time, when the pestilence begin to hit for real, that's when you're going to see bodies dropping. When a real pandemic hits, you don't just see everybody just stay at home orders and nobody sees anybody die. And all you see reports on death is what you see in the news. Or on social media because a doctor falsely diagnosed somebody with COVID to get extra money and saying, oh, this person has COVID, but nobody's really dying for real from the shit. When the real thing hits, man, you're going to see actual death. You're actually going to be knowing somebody and visually having eyes on somebody suffering from a real pandemic disease and dying. And this is one of those things that if it spreads, that you will visually see. It's no joke, man. So, Lord's will, this lesson's edifying. Just a quick update on times and events. I'm going to go ahead and close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, the time is truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopeful elect, pushing this truth in all honesty and sincerity. Shalom.